Hi there. Wow, this is hard. My name's Eva Tibor, and I'm an immigrant. I'm the child of two Holocaust survivors. I'm the daughter of brave parents who fled Soviet-controlled Hungary in 1956. My parents lived through one of the darkest times of the 20th century. They lived through and survived World War II and survived the Holocaust. My father was taken away as a young man of 20, a young man who had already experienced a world filled with anti-Semitism, into the slave labor force. The slave labor force was created by the fascist government of Hungary, allies of Nazi Germany, to systematically murder Jewish men of draft age. My father lived through hard labor, typhus, starvation, the bitter cold of Siberian prisoner of war camps in the Soviet Union. My father experienced and witnessed the worst that humanity brings to the world when the dark forces of oppression and authoritarianism take over. He returned home to find out that there were worse things than starvation, hard labor, disease, and being in constant company with those who hate you by virtue of who you are, a Jew. My father came home to find that his parents had been murdered in Auschwitz and that one of his two brothers, Tibor, had been murdered by the Germans at a labor camp in Hungary, giving aid to the sick and dying while a prisoner himself. My father burned with hatred, but he chose not to let that hatred fester and grow. He knew it would never bring back his parents, his brother, his uncles, his aunts, and cousins. He lost more than I can fathom. My mother survived living in the ghetto in Budapest, established by the Hungarian fascist regime to concentrate Jews and ultimately send them to Auschwitz. My mother suffered brutality I will never know about. My parents survived a darkness. They met and began their lives together. They had my brother and me. Hungary was a Soviet bloc country, post-World War II, an authoritarian regime. In October of 1956, the Hungarian people unsuccessfully revolted, but my brave parents decided to flee the darkness, into the darkness, so that their children would know freedom. They fled with nothing, not knowing where or whether they would make it to the light. They walked out of Hungary under search towers with a 5-year-old son and a 1.5-year-old daughter. No money, no belongings, just the clothes on our backs. We crossed the North Atlantic on a U.S. naval ship called the General Leroy Eltinge. And on January 27th, 1957, my parents saw the Statue of Liberty and knew that freedom and tolerance was what the future held for their children. I am forever grateful and in awe of my parents. They were immigrants. They worked hard as immigrants do. They wanted to be a part of the American dream. Not the dream of a home and a car, though that did come, but the one that can't be quantified so easily. The one that has to do with freedom of the mind and freedom of the spirit. Just down the Scioto Mile is a sculpture created by my father, Alfred Tibor, and it's called Freedom. It's a human figure releasing a bird. My father was that bird. My father was forever grateful to America. He and his wife and children were able to live like that bird, free. My parents, if they were still alive today, would be frightened by the dark forces in power. They would not, however, be silent. My father would be creating work and would be sharing his story. I am part of an amazing arts service organization created by David Brown, the exceptional David Brown, called the Harmony Project. Yes. Harmony Project's community choir of close to 500 voices gave a concert a little over a week ago. The concert was called the Concert for Humanity. We sang these very prescient words. Speak louder than the words before you. Give them meaning no one else has found. The role we play is so important. We are the voices of the underground. We, you and I, are unfortunately now the voices of the underground. Thank you for listening.